Yeah, it was a swell week of Premier League action, although I was not too pleased with one or two results, but I mean, it is what it is. Before we get into it, a big shout out to our manager of the week and also the manager of the month. EDaniel Friday Emmanuel with a total of 266 points for August. And let's take a look at what his team looked like over the weekend. He had Martinez in goal, Konate, Gabriel and Robinson as his defenders. Then in midfield, he had Rogers, Smith-Rowe, Luis Diaz, that was his cheat code, Bukayo Saka, Cole Palmer. Then up front, he had Watkins and the captain, Erling Haaland, to make a total of 84 points. So he's our manager of the week, and of course, as we said, he's going to get a prize from us. And Friday, Emmanuel, please do send us a DM so you can redeem your prize. But I mean, and he's our manager of the month, but then.
He didn't have the highest points still.
He didn't have the highest points.
Yeah, we had some with 94 points.
Okay, accumulatively was the manager of the month. Fair enough. But me, I don't know. He has used his wild card already.
We said it specifically.
He has used his wild card already. And I think he used his triple captain last week, if I'm correct.
Yeah, he did.
Yes, so he has used them both. And we are not even up to October.
At the end, Baba, you've won.
I'm giving him his accolades.
Be in Nigeria, you are the first
he has won.
FPL manager of the month.
What I would say is, FPL is a marathon. My eyes are on the main prize.
Yeah,
I can allow other people win. I can allow other people win manager of the month.
The way you are talking, what's your position?
No, I'm just 40 points from him in total. He's 266. I'm 220.
That's
I'm
nice.
220, so I'm
almost.
So far, you are keeping the pace. I'll get there eventually. You know that December time when people fall off. That's
it now.
And I go up. But let's not talk about that. Let's talk about stuff that happened over the weekend, starting with Arsenal and Brighton. I'm going to agree now that 12:30 games are cost. 12:30 games, just know that something silly.
Once you start,
something silly will
I don't
happen.
captain 12:30 players. I don't
just
bet
know
on
that
12:30 games.
Silly must happen in 12:30 games. Ironically, in our like sleep, we made 214 odds. Do you know how many games sported? Three. Just 3 games during 214 odds. And if you had told me that Arsenal
would be one of them,
would be one of the teams to win,
you refuse to follow. I told you over 1.5.
Yeah, that's not good odds for two attacking sides. You don't get good value for that.
Nah,
right? Value on being Nigeria.
Okay,
that's what we do.
Okay.
So about that game in general, yeah. To be fair, I'm not one to cry about
referees,
spilled milk and all, but there's one thing I always say. I'm not going to come here and shout and say, there's a bias against us now. I really don't care. But
I've done that before.
I'm not going to come here and do that again. I said I won't come here and do that again. That's what I said.
Okay.
But this is all I asked for. And it's very simple consistency.
Yeah.
Fair enough, there was a memo they released after that. They actually briefed all the players that doing that would get you a yellow card.
Yes.
Then, if that's the case, why didn't you give Pedro
a
card?
Is that consistency that's always the problem?
If you can still choose when not to follow that rule, you can still do it.
Because that's the discretion we're talking about.
That's the discretion we're talking about. This guy was on a yellow. There was no need.
And it wasn't like he booted the ball or something. It was just a touch.
No, but
there was no need to do that.
There was no need to do that. And for the player, for Declan Rice, he knew that was it.
I agreed for Declan Rice.
The problem is the lack of consistency.
Yeah,
because having a yellow card
in the first half, and then that, then nobody would have a problem.
And remembering that these things have been said, the problem with it is that when we talk about this football, at the end is what the referee says that is the final say.
Yeah.
He's the judge, is the one in charge of the game. So don't give him a reason to have to think about it.
Because by the letter of the law, it wasn't wrong. But we have to be reasonable.
So you saw the shrug on his shoulder, like, bro, I don't mean to give you this card, but you can choose not to.
You can choose not to. Like nobody, it's not going to be a scandal. For me, that's what it's about. Like, if it's not going to be a scandal, if you don't give that card,
it's not like he went Todd's eye. Kick him in the neck or something.
It's more significant if he did something like that in the 90th minute while Arsenal are leading and trying to keep, then it makes it's a bigger deal. But apart from that, it's just
so. But but aside the red card, to be fair, it's hard to talk about the game without the red card, because I think that single,
it changed everything.
That moment changed everything, because it was no coincidence that 8 minutes after the red card, Brighton scored. I think up until that time,
and then Arsenal had to even fight for their lives after that.
Yeah, up until that time, they were playing the cautious
11
game.
versus 11. Arsenal would have won that game.
The Brighton were playing the cautious game.
I don't think we will be so sure about that.
I think Arsenal.
Yes, I know that Arsenal.
Even with 10 men, Arsenal had chances.
Still had chances.
Arsenal had chances, yes, but still, let's still look at this Brighton side from their own side. The fact that they were able to also push Arsenal to some certain limits. It's other games we've seen Arsenal. They've been able to score 2 goals in every of the game. And you see, even when Arsenal got that goal, it took them a lot of time. There are a lot of missed chances too from the end that could have sort of buried it even before the red card.
Arsenal would have gotten a second goal easily.
Because Arsenal became more cautious.
Even
at 1-1, Arsenal were kind of playing on the counter.
Because
trying to
you are not a man down.
Yes,
so
exactly.
I'm just saying that
Arsenal would have had more of the.
But I'm just saying that these are assumptions we are making now. And practically it could not based on. No, but it's still an assumption.
And how Arsenal typically deal with things like that.
But it's still an assumption. It did not happen.
Is it a coincidence that the only time Arsenal have taken a red card this season, that's the only time we've considered a goal? Is it a coincidence that 8 minutes after the red card was when we considered? Why didn't they score when we had 11?
It's not about a coincidence. We've seen a side as Newcastle with 10 man. They were able to score, and they won the game. So I'm still saying that all of this
against who?
But 11 against 11. 11 against 11. Arsenal had all the momentum. Arsenal were dominating.
That one you
mentioned. Did they increase the lead? They had the
Arsenal games have gone.
They were leading
score,
1 goal.
Then later on they'll score again.
I'm not ruling out the fact about the thing that the red card will change the tempo, but I'm still saying these are still assumptions.
So there was no need to chase.
Well, assuming that Arsenal would win based on
how
facts,
is it an assumption that Arsenal will win at home with 11 men?
I'm saying it's an assumption because it did not happen.
It is not an assumption. We are following trends.
It could still not happen. You can still lead the game. You can still have all of the possession and still not win the game.
But let's move on though. Let's move on to Manchester United versus Liverpool.
What are we talking about?
I want to talk about it. A manager said he has won 2 trophies.
What game of the weekend?
We need to talk about
it. It was the game of the weekend. It was the biggest game of the Premier League weekend.
Can you remember the intro to where the preview for that game? I said, is it really a super? There was nothing super about yesterday now. See Liverpool playing
3-0.
The funny thing was that I said it that Casemiro will get a yellow card. Like, I was so sure that I would get the yellow card because you are playing with Kobe Mino. You are playing with Kobe Mino. You know the Liverpool midfield. They will run rings around you guys. I think 2 of them were even carded. Two of them got yellow card. That they had to take off. For who they bring in again? Colin Moore, what's his name?
They took off Collier. They took off that's
talented boy
Casemiro for Collier.
They took out Collier, and then they sold Scott McTominay to Napoli, and now you are bringing on Collier. It's such a game.
They sold their clutch man.
The reality is that the way Manchester United play, those midfielders will always be in trouble. The way they had
but I think it's time to admit that Casemiro is past it.
Yes, but if you have a player that is past it and your system it emphasizes his flaws, it's just going to look even worse than he is. You have a system where you want to rely on him for anything related to build up or breaking lines or anything like that. There's a reason why at Madrid, even in his prime, they used to bypass him for those kind of things. They will go through the others and then he will do what he does best. That's just it. Like,
it took me a while. It took me about 40 minutes to realize that Delete and Rashford were on the pitch. I didn't see them for a while. But I personally don't want to dwell too much on Manchester United. I mean, their manager believes that there is progress. Long may the progress continue. He said they didn't concede too much XG. And they lost 3-0. So that's progress.
But let's talk about the winners though.
Yeah, let's talk about Liverpool actually. Like, I think everybody were gloating so much about City that we are slowly ignoring Liverpool. And here's why Liverpool might actually be more dangerous than City this time around. I mean, City will always be City, but if you take out Haaland now and they don't have Alvarez anymore, do you think they will be as potent?
Yes. Not as potent, but they'll still win. They'll still win because bear in mind that everybody keeps saying that without Rodri, Manchester City, cannot do anything, blah blah blah. Well, they decided not to start the season.
That's not. That one is different. I'm talking about goals.
And even for goals, remember when they played Gundogan as a false nine for a full season? And guess what happened? He was scoring.
I don't think so. If you take out Haaland from City cannot win the league. Let's look at it. The first season.
No, right
wait,
now
let's look at it.
Why are you saying this about Guardiola?
No, it's not. Let's leave Guardiola. Let's look at it.
We're still talking about Guardiola team like this.
The first season, Haaland scored 36 goals.
His goals have been
look at the last one.
Yes.
This one in just 3 games, 7 goals. How many of Arsenal scored?
They won 2 titles without KDB being around.
That is different.
For half the season.
But did they have?
That's their chief creator.
That is different.
That's where goals come from. Creation.
Last season, was KD most playing the game?
Last season,
KD had injury now.
Yes, for 6 months. When KDB got the injury, what do people say?
But Haaland still scored. Haaland still won.
Even Haaland got injured, and they had to rely on Foden, and Foden came up big.
Foden cannot do that consistently.
Even that last season.
The point is that the coach is Guardiola. Guardiola will miss a player that is important, and what does he do? He finds a system or a way of playing that makes up for that whatever you are missing.
Sorry, this is the point here. Take away Haaland's goals. They might still win games, but if you take away his goals from the past 2 seasons, they won't win the game.
You know that if you take away Haaland's goals, Arsenal would have won the title.
And the point is that if they didn't have Haaland, Guardiola would have found another way to still get results.
Right now, I promise you can't do it right now.
But talking about Haaland,
the guy played Fernandez as a left back.
Let's go back to Liverpool now. The case now is that see what I'm saying here. Liverpool have a case where, let's say you take out Salah, you can still put Jota. They still have Diaz. They still have Nunes.
Take away Salah's goals. Take away like Haaland's goals.
Yes, take away Salah's goals. They will still perform. They still have outlets. They still have no. They still have
but you still look at the numbers. The numbers that Haaland gives, they are outrageous.
They don't do Salah numbers. But you are still saying that.
Do you realize that Haaland has scored 70% of City's goals this season?
Yes, I know. But they won the league before Haaland came.
No, but
against the Liverpool that were pushing them all the way.
After them.
But now we are saying they are so very much reliant on him.
With this Haaland's time, you can't put it like. But let's look at Haaland.
That's what it looks like until Haaland is not there and they still thrive.
Apart from
that's the thing about
Haaland. Let's look at Haaland's number now. You look at he already has 8 hat-tricks in just 69 Premier League games. The person that has 12, Aguero, had to do over 200 games.
I'm not saying Haaland is not important.
You're going to get here. So if you're saying it's not important, what more do Haaland needs to do to be a Premier League great, like as a striker?
He's a great already. There's nothing he needs to do. He's going to win another golden boot, 3 straight golden boots in the first 3 seasons. He's already one of the greatest things that the Premier League has seen, right? And he's a very important player for Manchester City. If they win the league this season, Haaland is a big reason why. Last season it was a big reason why. The season before it was a big reason why. That is established, right? I'm just saying that Guardiola on his own, if he's missing an important player, when KDB came back last season, how many big chances did he create? Sharp. Like in the games he played, the number of assists he got. But it doesn't mean that KDB was not important just because they were winning without him. Same thing with Haaland. But going to your point, Haaland is already one of the greats in the Premier League.
I think if he stays
4, doesn't even need to. If he wins another 2-3 golden boots, like who is going to be, but if Haaland stays 5 more years at City, 5 more years, if he stays 5 more years and scores all the goals he scores, all those players that you say they are pure footballers, one thing, you'll be afraid to even put their name or their names beside Haaland's name. By the time he's done, like if he stays 5 more years at City, scoring 30 league goals every season and winning golden boot because do you think anybody else can win the golden boot this season? Or will
it's almost
it's not a case of do you think anybody else? Someone else will step up. That's how the Premier League.
Because
at one point, not this season.
That's what I'm saying. Now, do you think anybody will go?
But we know that. I think there's still I'm not saying that. I'm not wishing him injuries. No, I'm not wishing him injuries. But we are saying I'm saying that anything can happen. We just played 3 games.
And meaning that we have
missed like 2 months.
36 more games to play.
Yeah. It's the game back and won it.
So if he stays fit, he's probably going to. But then, sorry to counter it, but remember that without Haaland, City did not do a treble. Yes.
I'm not this.
No, because these are the things you look at. If you take out Haaland,
but they won. They did a.
You know, we had this
domestic quadruple.
But you know, we had this conversation where I told I told Colade that for them to win this title, they need to get a striker, because you need to have a striker that can give you number of goals. Because you cannot fight for that Premier League title.
That's cool, I know. But last season too, they didn't even win FA Cup. They won just one trophy.
They won, but they were fighting in all fronts.
Which one they were doing the previous season too with Haaland, where they won treble. So it happens.
You win a treble, the next season you win the title. It's still a good one.
Yes, but it happens. I'm saying that there will be seasons where they were just like very unlucky many times. Sometimes they were just outclassed. And even last season, they had chances. They should have beaten Real Madrid. They didn't. And Real Madrid, knock them out. I think that I would just look at everything season by season. Haaland is a great shot, but it just depends really on a lot of factors. But anyway, let's look at the betting opportunities we missed from the weekend in the Premier League specifically. What betting opportunities were there that we should have seen?
I said it on the show.
Casemiro
to get the card. Like, it was so obvious that Liverpool midfield would be too athletic for them, and they would be left like chasing shadows. It was so obvious, and it happened. And it was no surprise that there are 2 pairings in midfield got carded. It was.
I think Brentford at home to beat Southampton was pretty straightforward.
And there's something we missed. 9 only Man you actually spotted. All the games ended with both teams.
Yeah, both teams scored. That one is apart from Manchester United game, every other team, the goals
surprised?
Market.
We are not surprised.
Well, I think this weekend would have been the best for the over 1.5.
Yeah, because all teams,
they removed Manchester United. No, it still works. Sorry, it still works over 1.5. Yeah. It was go that will not work. So every of the teams, we are just sat down.
I mean,
but I told you the goals market.
Started, before the season started, we did say that Premier League will score more because there's a closer
over 1.5.
There's like what is looking like now in the Premier League is like. We know that, for instance, City will beat West Ham, but you know that West Ham can score. They should have quality enough to score a goal.
Yeah.
So both teams to score will increase. Last season we saw 60% of both teams scoring. I think this season it might be much higher.
This is why all my defenders on FPL are 4.0, because I am not banking on defenders and clean sheets at all.
Yes,
my goalkeeper is 4.0 and he came on.
He has given you 12 points.
Saliba did me there.
Every day is not Christmas. Calm down.
But my goalkeeper is also a 4.0. He was even on bench safe. My 2 goalkeepers were on bench, but one came on because someone got injured and he got 1 point. So
anyways, that's all we have for you in today's video, and it's now time to look onto the international break where things are going to be happening for their respective countries. And also on an FPL front, it's time for managers to sit down, re-strategize and come back strong after the international break. Like I said, my own strategy.
Are you talking to Ten Hag?
I don't know.
Misdirect.
They should sack him now.
I did say that they will sack Ten Hag before December.
They should sack him now.
It's going to happen. But
so that they go and plan very well.
That's why they brought in the guy. Van Nistelrooy. Yes, Van Nistelrooy has just been waiting.
Fair enough. And once again, a big congrats to Friday Emmanuel for being. Your name is actually very special because you are our very, very
history
first. Books. You're going to be the recipient of our very, very first manager or FPL Manager of the Month award. But long may it not continue because the next one I'm hoping to win it, and I think I'm going to win it.
Before we leave, please tell us your points.
I said it already. 200. Okay,
last week.
Last week, I had 77 points.
This weekend.
Yes.
86.
Okay. 82.
Please let's close the show.
So you're not even the first.
No, I'm still better. I'm still when it sits on this stage.
To all our viewers out there, don't forget to give us your comments in the section below. What do you think about Erling Haaland being one of the greatest ever to play in the Premier League? And after 2 or 3 more seasons, is he going to be undisputed as the best forward to have ever played in the league? Let us know your thoughts on that. And also, what are the betting opportunities you might have missed? And also the betting opportunities that you'll be looking forward to after the international break comes. Till we come your way next time. Stay cool.
Gotcha.
Bye.